Hello, hello, and welcome to Notary Life with Kimmi. I am here with Angela, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, this is Angela with AJ Mobile Notary and Apostille Services. Hi, guys.
Hey, we'll wait a second for YouTube to notify everybody. We're going to say hello to those who will join us on the replay also. And let me see, can I pull up Facebook right quick? And again, welcome, welcome. And again, I'm Kimmi. This is Angela. Our other trainer is Alexis. We all independently have our own notary businesses, but we also enjoy training. So that is why we're here tonight to go over a little couple of things with you for general notary work. A lot of people we find are frightened to do general notary work. They don't know what questions to ask. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. Hey, the notary down south, how are you? Long time no hear from.
I know
Let's see
that's
who that is on Facebook. Let's see who's on Facebook. Shorty Nisi. Hi, Shorty Nisi. I don't know that I've seen you here before. Welcome. Hey, Tiffany Conquers all. Hello, hello. Welcome, ladies, on Facebook. So yeah, we just went live for a few minutes tonight. Hey Annette, welcome. And to go over a little bit of training, general notary, what questions you need to ask. So that's what I was saying, a little introduction about ourselves. So like I said, we all have our own businesses, but together we form Notary Educators. We train all 50 states. And if you have not, if you did not know, I just wrote a book for each and every state. If you already have the gray book, you don't need the new one. But the books for each state help you start your notary business. What is required to start your business, how you can have a successful business. If you already have a notary business in one of those, in any of the 50 states, including Washington, D.C., and you don't know what to do, that book will be great for you. Hey, Viviana B. Wells, what's going on? Welcome, everybody. Hey, Mr. Oscar. Hi, Annette. And who else do we have here? Hey, Shamika, Lorena, and Danielle Starr. Hi, welcome.
Hi,
So
everybody.
you guys can go ahead and put your questions in the chat too. So as me and Angela discuss these general notary questions, we can hop right over to your questions, okay? So let's get into it. So Angela, the first question I had was, what type of documents? These are questions, so you want to write these down if you have a pen and paper that will help you in your business when you're screening your clients for general notary work, okay? It's very important that questions equal money. You always hear me say that. Hey, Danielle. Hi, LaShonda. And let's get that last person on Facebook, and we are going to get started. Who is that on Facebook?
Shorty Nisi D. Crawford.
Who is it, Angela?
Shorty Nisi D. Crawford. That says,
Okay.
thank you. I get sworn in Friday.
Okay, somebody else has said hello too. I couldn't see who that was. Hey, Lanice, welcome from Las Vegas. Yes. All right, so let's get into these screening questions. So the first one I have is, what type of documents do you have? And you want to ask your client what type of documents they have, because that will help you to determine how many pages normally. If they say it's just a school note, then normally that's just one page, one signature is required. If they say I have a whole trust package, then that lets you know, oh, this might be kind of large.
Mm-hmm.
So any thoughts on that question right there, Angela? What type of documents? Why is that important?
That's very important. It's interesting. I had that situation just yesterday. A gentleman called me and he said he needed some documents notarized. And at first he said a will and some documents. And I said, well, can you please tell me what the documents are? And as he was going through, by the time he got to like the third document, I said, sir, it sounds like you have a trust package. And so he said, I don't know, but whatever you charge, how much do you charge? So, yeah, so he ended up booking the appointment. So it's important to ask how many documents, because if it's more than like two or three and they all have to do with like wills and medical directives and powers of attorneys, that's like a trust package.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you would want to charge more than you would just charge for a general notary document.
Right, because attorneys charge big time money. Now, we're not attorneys.
Client is here.
Oh, your client is here. We'll wait for you. So Angela has a client. Hopefully she can pop back on and join us. She shouldn't be that long. The next question we have is, do you have current ID? That is important because you do not want to arrive at an assignment and the person does not even have their ID or it's expired. You might need to find out. So for example, if it's expired, first of all, we want to know what the state says. And we're talking general notary tonight, not loan signing. That's a whole different ball game when it comes to identification. But when it comes to general notary work, it is a little different because that your state will trump whatever, and they'll tell you if you can accept an expired ID or not. So that's another general notary question you want to ask. Do you have current ID? And again, if it's expired, you still may be able to use it. You have to check your state handbook, or you may have to go about identifying the client another way. Okay, so that's a very important question. The next question is, how many people are signing the documents? So they usually will say something like, oh, it's just me. And then as you ask that question, then they'll say, oh, yeah, my husband is on here too. Oh, yes, my mom has to sign it also. So that's another question. How many people, and why is that important? Because once again, we need to know what kind of ID does the other person have? Do they have current ID, right? Because if it's their mother on the document with them and she hasn't driven for 5-10 years, she may not have an ID. So now that, you need to make sure you cover all your bases. So how many people are signing the document this evening or this morning? The next question is, are there any witnesses required? That's another question you want to ask. Are there any witnesses required? And as you continue to do general notary work or specialty general notary work, you will know what questions to ask. Guys, hit the like button for me if you don't mind. And hello, everybody. Welcome, Nia, Monique. Who else? Liliana, Tyra. Hey, Frank. Welcome. I think we got Danielle and everybody else. So welcome to those who are joining us on the replay later. So another question again is, are witnesses required for the document? And they're going to always, 90% of the time, say, no, they're not required. No, I just need a notary. I just need a notary. Where you need to push back and say, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, can you please check your documents? Because I cannot tell you the number of times that I've had someone that needed a witness for a document. And then that lets them know you're the professional in the room, because they're thinking, oh, no, I just need a notary. When you start asking that question, they're like, oh, she knows her business. And that lets them know also that this is not getting ready to be $2 or $5. Okay, that lets them know automatically, she knows what she's talking about. So no, she's not a $2 notary. She's not a $5 notary, not even $10, right? Questions equals money. Okay. Then the next thing we have is, what is the address and time of the signing? Why do you need to know that? Because you need to know where you're going, right? If you're going to a hospital, if you're going around the corner, if you're driving an hour away, if you're driving 2 hours away. And then depending on where they tell you, sometimes they normally will say, oh, my mom's at a facility, or my boyfriend's at, he's in jail or whatever. They normally will tell you if it's an extenuating circumstance. So, but again, you want to know where you're going, because again, that's going to help with that mileage. Especially if you're charging per mile, or if you're charging, flat rate for mileage per hour here, 20 miles this way, 30 miles that way. So you need to know where you're going to. Like the song, do you know where you're going to? Okay, I won't sing, y'all. I'm not afraid of karaoke, though. So anyway, you need to know the location of the signing. And my last question that I always ask, and there are many more you can ask. You might have your own list. But one more is, are there any pets? Are there any pets? A few weeks ago, we did a live, and someone told us they had actually been bitten by a dog. And I'm terrified of dogs. I always say I'm not against dogs. I'm not anti-dog or anything like that. But I always like to ask that question. Why? Because I want to make sure, if they have a pet, can they put it up? And just last week, I went to a signing, and I asked the person, did they have any pets? She said, yeah, I have 2 small ones. She said, my granddaughter has one that's a little bigger, but she always keeps that one in that side of the house, like a whole different, like a little apartment, like a mother-in-law suite that was on the property. Lo and behold, I'm standing there paralyzed with fear. Jeff was with me. He was my witness that day. He didn't even see the dog come in. I didn't see it because it was a black dog. It was dark at night. We were out in the deep, deep country. And next thing I know, I see this dog. He never saw, he just saw the terror in my face. It was hilarious after the fact, because he drew a little picture of it. And I was standing there like, and I told the lady, I said, can you get the big one? Can you get the big one? Can you get the big one? Because it was 2 smaller ones, plus now this big one is in there. He was like a lab. So he was really quiet. He was black. He was quiet. You would have never even known he was there, but I knew because he was standing next to me. Again, labs tend to be pretty okay. You know, they call it the family dog or whatever. And I'm standing there paralyzed with fear. I'm looking like, and Jeff could hear me. It was so funny after the fact, because he even, like I said, he drew a picture of it. And I was telling the lady, I said, I'm holding on to the lady for dear life, right? I grabbed her and I said, can you get the big one? Can you get the big one? So her granddaughter took the dog out. So I'm like, well, we all kind of looking like, well, how did he get in here? And she says, I don't know, the granddaughter. And I'm thinking to myself, well, the dog can't, he don't have hands to open the door. But I think what happened when she came in, she kind of left the door open and he probably just pushed it. You know, she didn't actually close it. And normally, for those who are afraid of pets or don't like cats or whatever your situation is, because I have a terrible cat allergy, actually. I'm afraid of dogs and I have a pet allergy, period. But I'm really afraid of dogs. And one more tip on that is, and it just left my mind just that quick. Oh, when I get to the house, I usually will say, and I didn't do it this time. This is the second time I did not do it and a dog ran out on me. I will usually say something to the effect, does everyone in the home know that I'm here? Does everyone in the house know that I'm here? That way, you know, they won't let the dog out. And the person will usually say yes. And if it's a big dog, if they already warn me it's a large dog, like when I did that Proctor job a couple years ago, I asked the lady again, I said, everybody knows I'm here. Because it was like a Mastiff, that big dog, really big. So anyway, so those are my tips. I'm going to recap for those of you who may be joining us really quick. You can go back and watch the replay. But tonight we're talking about general notary screening questions and how they're so important and that you don't have to be afraid of general notary work. For those of you who don't know and you're new to the channel, I actually wrote a book, Specialty General Notary Work. Don't be scared. How to navigate hospitals, nursing homes, jails, and more. Okay. And again, it's not that complicated. Don't be scared. So if you can see it on the channel, for those who are listening, it's a yellow book and you can find it at Notary Educators LLC.com. And I'll also be on Lori Morgan's book club on Sunday. And that's the book she's highlighting, actually. So if you are not familiar with Lori Morgan from Notary Cousins, I'm sure they wouldn't mind if you join their Facebook group. If you're not a part of Notary Educators Facebook group, of course, join ours also. And the book club is on Sunday with Lori Morgan. She just hosted the Level Up 2023 conference. So I was a speaker on a couple different panels. So that was really nice. So go to Eventbrite and look for the event. I don't have the link, unfortunately. If I find it, I'll throw it in the description box. Okay. And let's go back to recap the questions really quick. For these general notary questions here really quick, it's going to be, if you have a pen and paper, what type of documents do you have? Do you have current ID? How many people are signing? Are witnesses required? What is the address and time of the signing? And are there any pets? And again, for a deep dive into doing general notary like a pro, I have the course where it's like you and I sitting in a room. We go over different documents. We go over different terminology you need to know. And it will prepare you for all your specialty general notary work. The courses are on sale, 50% off. Coupon code is Level Up 2023. And you'll see it right on the website, okay? So that's it. I'm going to answer a few questions right quick. And let's see where we are. Let me refresh Facebook because I'm flying solo till Angela gets back. I hope she comes back. So let's go over here to the questions really quick. Yeah, don't forget to like the video for me. Hi, Tyra. And then we got Marjorie in the house. Hi, Marjorie. Notary down south. You guys know I'm scared of pets, right? Kathy says, hello. Hi, Kathy. Viviana says she's afraid of snakes. And you know what's so funny, Viviana? The same client that I had the dog run in on me, guess what? She had a snake on the porch in a little container. She asked me, did I want to see the snake? No. This lady had a 10-acre farm, 10-acre. And we were out there pitch dark, pitch black at night. It was really interesting, actually. They were so nice, though. I promise you, they were so nice. But again, I don't do all them animals. And she said she had horses. I would have loved to have been there in the daytime because I could have really, seen the property because it was frightening at night. Again, I had to use my flashlight because we couldn't see the address. And she said, I'll come out and meet you. I thought she was going to come out to the end of the road to meet us. She just came out the garage. So that it was just funny. I'm telling you. General notary work, guys. If you are not doing it, I know it can be frightening. That's why I wrote the book. Don't be scared. Because many times people don't want to do right away loan signing. It costs more money to get into loan signing. It really does. You have to buy your printer, you have to buy a toner, you have to buy this, you have to buy that, right? But general notary, once you really just know what to do, if you don't know how to notarize, check out Notarize Like a Pro, the course. But once you know how to properly notarize and you become a little bit familiar with the settings, terminology, that's where I wrote the book and the other course, Specialty General Notary Work. Once you do that, you actually will enjoy general notary work. You never know where you're going to end up. You never know who you're going to meet, and you end up making friendships with your client, and you become one of the family. I often tell a little story. You probably heard if you watch me any length of time, where this lady needed a notary, and she asked her sister. She said, "Hey, I need a notary," and her sister said, "Well, you can use my notary." And the other one didn't even know she had a notary. Because most people don't even know who we are or what we do until they need us, right? So let's see what other questions we have tonight. I'm going to hang out for a few more minutes and answer some of your questions. So Nia Monique says, what questions would you ask for fingerprinting and I-9? Nia Monique, that's two whole separate things, but they're basic questions. And don't forget, I do have the ink fingerprinting and I-9 course, and I have free videos here. But again, like a pro, I go into really, deep detail in the courses, and it's an investment into your business. So, you could try to piece it together if you want. I do provide free videos always. I never just do everything for money, but the courses are, like I said, if you really want to do it like a pro. So some of your fingerprinting questions would be, the main thing with fingerprinting you want to ask them is, do they need electronic or the old-fashioned manual, rolling? You definitely want to ask that, because they might need live scan. And if you don't do live scan, then you're going to have a problem. So that's the number one question I would ask with ink fingerprinting is, what method do they need? And sometimes they don't know. So because they would say something like, I don't know. I just need fingerprints. Well, you have to push back, because I've had many a client that actually needed it to go. Excuse me. Got a tickle in my throat. Whenever I get on, you guys know that happens. I'm so sorry. But you have to push back, because they will try to say, I just need it done. I just need to get it completed. But you need to know what method they need, because again, if they need live scan and you don't have the machine or the equipment or anything, you're not even skilled for that. Then you can't do it. As far as that go, if you don't know how to do ink fingerprinting and you're just going to try to wing it, you probably don't need to be doing that either until you actually are prepared and trained. I know we talk about training a lot, guys, and I know a lot of people have been burned with different training courses or whatever, or maybe bought a course that they didn't need at that particular time in their journey. I really like to say it that way, because I believe everybody has something that you can learn from them. So I don't want to say any course is bad, right? The way I usually explain that to people when I have calls with them is, I don't think it's a bad course. I don't. I think everybody has, again, something you can learn from them. But I think what happens is we're buying some courses before we actually have our foundation. And that's the problem. It's not the courses. I really believe it's you. So for example, if I'm buying a marketing course and I don't know how to stamp a paper, that doesn't work. That's like buying the front door to a house that I'm just looking at, in a magazine, or, I'm picking out paint for a home that I don't even own yet. So you don't want to put the cart before the horse, as they say. You need to do things in order. So that's what I find with courses. So I'm going to go off on a little tangent. I'm bringing it back home. But again, I don't think maybe if you've already bought another course, that is necessarily a bad course. It just may not be the course you need at this time. So what I really focus on, myself, Angela, and Alexis, is making sure you have a great foundation. I talk about marketing, I talk about building, I talk about scaling, I talk about all those things. But I know for a fact, if you don't know how to notarize a document, you have no business. Okay, I know that. So that's what my focus is. So that's to answer your question on a tangent with the fingerprinting. Number one question I would ask on I-9 appointment is, what ID will they be using? You have to know which ID, because it's so many different ways to fill out that form. On the YouTube videos, including mine, we usually show you just the simplest way. And I don't even know that I show you exactly how to do it, but I know there are videos out there. They show you the simplest way, but there are many ways to fill out the I-9, and I cover that in the course, because you need to know how to do it more than just one way. So my number one question for I-9 appointments is, what type of ID will you be using? Because you have to know that before you can proceed, okay? North Carolina's in the house with Van She Goes. Welcome. Hey, Furman, Ibanez. Good evening. And Viviana said she would have freaked out. Yes, girl. She had a snake in the box at the front door. She like, you want to see it? Tyra, let's see. Regina, nope, no pets, girl. I'm telling you, ask that question, you guys. Ask that question and notarize on that napkin. Yes, the notary down south. If you know how to notarize, you can notarize a piece of tissue. And that video is coming, y'all. I keep saying I need to put that in my phone. That video is coming. So what other questions do you all have? Hey, Stephanie, welcome. I hope I didn't miss anybody. And Angela's still doing her appointment. It must have been a little deeper than we thought. Hey, Melissa from Illinois, welcome. I'm going to clear my throat, child. I actually ate an orange earlier, so you know I have a lot of acid allergies, but this is so good. And I think it's really helping my hair. So that's why I've been eating these oranges and just trying to put more nutrients in my body, you know, overall. So I'm not allergic enough where I might fall out from it, but I do have to watch the acid. What other questions do you guys have? Have you signed up for a couple free events? Let's go over them. First of all, if you have not signed up for our Facebook group, please do. It's completely free. Notary Educators, number one. We just hit 3,000, so we will be celebrating that very soon. So you definitely want to join the Facebook group. Look for, in the future, we'll be doing an email list. And why are we doing an email list? You may say, oh, not another email. But we figured out, actually a long time ago, I just didn't know how to solve the problem, is that YouTube, as well as Facebook and all these other social media accounts, they don't advertise everything that we do. So we may put it out in a group 3 or 4 times, but the reach, or I forgot the other verbiage it is, but the reach of the people, it may only show 20 people. And we have 3,000 members, but only 20 saw that we were doing something free. So we do have a free event coming up February 5th. So sign up for that. We keep putting it out and keep putting it out for those of you who are getting every alert. Don't kill us. But we really just want to make sure as many people can take advantage of it. So when we do roll out the email list, I'll let you guys know so you can sign up. And we'll be giving out monthly tips about the apostille part of the business, every part of the business. Google My Business will have free tips on there. It's just another way for us to communicate with everybody and keep you in the loop. Because again, a lot of times they just don't show everything. So even with my videos, people, they'll say, I didn't know you were live. I got every alert on. So if you don't have the alerts on, put them on. Hopefully you'll get, notices or notifications. But that's the type of thing that we will be putting in the email also when I'm going live, because that's a way for you to get mentorship or ask your questions, for free. So we do a lot of free things over here. So again, the email list is coming, and that way you can stay in the loop and know what's going on. So if you haven't signed up for the free event on February 5th, you want to do that, which is a Sunday. Then also join the Facebook group, Notary Educators. Also, there is a free 2023 Notary Goal Sheet that we prepared for you. If you have not downloaded that, take advantage of it so you can write your daily, monthly, and yearly goals out. And then last but not least, all the courses are on sale. 50% off. The self-paced coupon code is Level Up 2023. So what other questions you guys have? I'll hang out a couple more minutes, and then that's going to be it. Hey, Linda. Linda says, I'll do that right now. Count me in. Yes, come on, so we can see each other. Put some faces with the names and see who's who. I'm trying to come up with a name for that too. If you guys come up with a name, let me know for what we can call our monthly meetup. I put monthly meetup right now. We were calling it Sipping Gems. So I really want something that's going to stick because it may not always be monthly. I might be going to 2 times a week. 2 times a month. We don't know what we're doing over here. But we do know that we are available to answer questions. We try to go live as much as we can. So Lorena says, what is the procedure to notarize a school diploma and transcripts that is going to be used in Mexico? I'm in Virginia. Do you add a page since you don't? Oh, that's a whole thing, Lorena. Yeah, that's an apostille question. And it's not just a simple notarization. Yeah, that's going to be a little deeper than what we can get into right here. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm going to have you reach out to Angela for apostille. You probably need some training. I do have a few videos on that, but yeah, because a lot of documents you cannot notarize. And like I said, that's a 10-step thing almost. Maybe not literally 10, but it's quite a bit for the last few minutes that we have. Okay. I do apologize for that. But Angela will be more than happy to walk through that with you. So check it out, notaryeducatorsllc.com. And she has a whole apostille little thing over there. So just reach out to her, okay? You can reach out to her. She has 2 different links over there under apostilles, okay? That's what that process is called. For those of you who don't know what an apostille is, really quick, it's just a document leaving the country, needs a higher level of authentication, okay? I do have about maybe 6 or 7 videos on it, so you might want to check those out. And then Keisha says, what questions do you ask for POAs to make sure the client is competent in signing? Yeah, you just want to make sure. You want to look at them. You want to do what I call read the room, Keisha. And just make sure the person is alert. You know, you have to learn kind of how to feel your way around that. Yeah, notary down south is saying apostille. Yeah, and some of the reading the room with power of attorneys will just come with experience. But some people will say, well, what's today's date? Who's the president? Stuff like that. I don't usually ask those questions because I don't have the time know what today's date is. And when I'm out there doing signings, I ask that all day long. So I really learn how to read the room. Sometimes people cannot even speak. So that brings up a whole nother topic. But if you missed the beginning, I did give some basic initial questions that you want to ask, okay? Looks like we have a connection between Annette and Melissa. They're both in Belleville, Illinois. Check that out. Lala says, hi, can you put the information you just described for the events coming up below possibly? Everything is at Notary Educators. I won't type them all out, but you can visit the website. I'm going to type that for you if I can see it. .com, and it will be in the description box, of course. Notary Educators, notaryeducatorsllc.com. Okay, all the events. Look under live events, training, and then for free resources. Okay, and that's it, guys. So I'm gonna say good night. It has been my pleasure. I hope you will add specialty general notary work to your business. If you are not doing it, check out the resources that we have to help you overcome your fears. Okay. Well, as always, it's been my pleasure. And this is Notary Life with Kimmi. Until next time. Bye, guys.